Unlock the secrets of your property at zero cost. We're talking about accessing Portage County property records completely for free with just a few clicks. So let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to learn exactly how to bypass the usual government bureaucracy and find local land records without spending a dime. Whether you're a homeowner or a real estate investor, there is massive, massive practical value hidden in these public files. I absolutely love this idea. Uncovering all that hidden data behind a home or an investment property, it really doesn't have to cost you a single cent. We just need to know exactly where to look so we can skip right past those subscription fees and go straight to the official sources. Okay, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with an introduction to property records, then we'll break down the Portage County systems. After that, we'll go through a step-by-step guide and search tactics, do a little troubleshooting for common issues, explore advanced mapping tools, and finally wrap up with our conclusion and key takeaways. Section 1, Introduction to Property Records. Let's look at exactly why accessing your local land data is absolutely crucial. So, imagine this. You walk into an office, or maybe you end up on the wrong online service to pull a deed, and bam, you are immediately hit with a $34 fee just for the first 2 pages. It really puts it into perspective, right? Mastering these free online databases is a total game changer because it helps us completely bypass those physical recording fees and annoying third-party paywalls. Now, why do we even want this data in the first place? Well, think about everyday situations. If you're a homeowner preparing to file a tax appeal, or maybe you're an investor who just needs to verify who legally owns a title, this is literally your most powerful free resource. You can check out historical tax valuations, you can resolve spatial and boundary disputes with the neighbors, and you can even pull up old environmental and septic permits. The amount of info is incredible. Moving right along to Section 2, Understanding Portage County's System, or, as I like to call it, the geographic homonym trap. Okay, so here is where a lot of people get instantly frustrated. There are actually 2 entirely different Portage counties. To tell them apart, government systems use these unique identifiers called FIPS codes. If you're looking for Portage County in Ohio, that's FIPS code 39133. The county auditor handles the taxes, and the recorder handles the deeds. But if you jump over to Portage County, Wisconsin, which is FIPS 55097, well, there the treasurer handles taxes and the Register of Deeds handles titles. Getting this straight right off the bat dictates which free portal we actually need to use. Section 3, Step-by-Step Guide and Search Tactics. This is where we learn how to master those free online portals. First things first, we have to know our tools. For completely free tax and valuation data, you really want to stick to the platforms like the Ohio Auditor Real Estate Search or the Wisconsin Ascent Land Record Suite. The goal is to avoid accidentally clicking into the paid remote services. Places like Tapestry will charge you $8.95 just to run a single query. You really only want to use those if you absolutely need an official, certified paper copy of a deed. Following a few exact steps will totally streamline your navigation, meaning you can pull up complete transaction ledgers in literally seconds. You just navigate to the official county web portal, so the Auditor for Ohio or Ascent for Wisconsin, then select the real estate search or property and tax category. Next, input your search criteria using minimal identifiers, and I'll share a special trick for that in just a second. Finally, submit your query to view the detailed valuation, sales, and tax histories. It really is that straightforward. Now, these database search engines, they are incredibly literal, so we have to watch out for specific formatting quirks or we'll get 0 results. In Ohio, if you search by parcel ID, you absolutely must include all the dashes. Looking up a manufactured home, it has to be a strict 5-digit sequence. Searching by the owner's name means typing the last name first with no punctuation at all. And over in Wisconsin's Ascent system, if you happen to be searching in Stevens Point, you have to remember to drop the 281 prefix from the parcel number. Because these systems are so painfully literal, typing too much information often leads to character matching errors, and that brings us to the golden rule of public searches: less is best. If the property is on Main Street, just type Main. Leave off the suffixes like drive, street, avenue, or saint. By giving the search engine less text, you're casting a wider net. This stops a simple, tiny typo from hiding the property entirely. Section 4, Troubleshooting Common Issues. Let's talk about overcoming those annoying technical hurdles and database errors. So, what happens when you can't find your property or you face a technical error? Look, it happens to the best of us. You type in the address and the system just throws up a big "no results found." Usually the fix is just a matter of adjusting how we look at the legal terms, double-checking our less is best spelling rule, or realizing that maybe the digital map doesn't perfectly match the legal reality of the land. And that brings up a really important point. When you are troubleshooting a boundary issue, you can't always just trust the digital map. You actually have to rely on the written legal descriptions found on the actual deed, known as meets and bounds. Digital maps are fantastic references, sure, but they aren't legal surveys. If there is ever a discrepancy, the meets and bounds description, which specifies the exterior boundaries and landmarks, is your ultimate authority. Section 5. Advanced Mapping and Tools. Let's explore Geographic Information Systems, or GIS. These free spatial viewers are honestly amazing. They allow us to click on any parcel and instantly see the boundary lines, acreage, and zoning classifications. Ohio uses the AGO viewer, while Wisconsin has the Planning and Zoning Parcel Finder. It's kind of like time travel. You can look at historical aerial photos from decades past or tap into health district records to see exactly where a septic system was permitted. It is an absolute treasure trove of visual data. But do you need physical copies? The online GIS is 100% free, which is great. Just remember that asking the county to print large physical copies will incur a small materials fee. So if you need a huge surveyor map for a construction project, expect to pay anywhere between $1 and $10 in Wisconsin, depending on the size, just to cover the paper and ink. Section 6. Conclusion and Key Takeaways. Summarizing your path to free property records. All right, let's lock in these 4 simple takeaways. By doing this, you're going to save time, avoid fees, and honestly, navigate local government bureaucracy like a total pro. Number 1, always verify the FIPS code so you know if you're in Ohio or Wisconsin. 2, use the free portals like the Auditor or Ascent first before even looking at paid databases. 3, definitely apply that less is best rule for street names. And finally, if a boundary looks a little weird online, cross-reference the GIS viewer with the actual recorded deeds. Now for a quick disclaimer. Website interfaces, fees, and regulations, they might change over time. Local government platforms are always evolving, so always be sure to verify the current procedures with the official county sources based on today's date. What's free today is usually free tomorrow, but those web interfaces will for sure get updated. So, what hidden history or unclaimed value will you discover in your local property records today? Now that you are fully equipped to unlock all these records for completely free, what fascinating secrets will you uncover about your own backyard? The data's out there, it is totally public, and it's free. So go out there and start your search.